Identify, inspire, act. This is Detroit 2020.
The city of Detroit has nearly 40 square miles of vacant land. That's roughly the size of Miami Beach. And even though no one lives on that land, everyone in the city pays to maintain it.
The city is now engaged in the enormous but crucial task of determining just how to best turn the city's challenges into opportunities. And Stephen Clark is here with a Detroit 2020 report on the project that will likely shape the city in the decade to come. Stephen.
Joe and Diana, Detroit in 2020 is going to have to look and function a lot differently than it does today if the city is going to rebound. Experts tell us decisions that are made over the next 12 months may seal the fate of the city, so none of us can afford to sit on the sidelines. Now is the time for us to all get in the game. Not even the bitter cold can keep Devette Bradley from shoveling her front walk. It's her effort to keep the neighborhood safe and well-tended. But here on her part of Flanders Street, snow is the least of the problems.
I believe people around here in the neighborhood set most of these houses on fire.
From her front walk, Devette looks across the street at 3 burned-out houses with vacant lots on each side. Her side of the street isn't much better, and it has continued to deteriorate in the 3 years she's lived here.
Now that one's messed up, those down there messed up, that one on that corner's messed up. This one was boarded up as well.
This neighborhood near Gratiot and Connor is just one example of the challenge facing city leaders.
There's a lot of deteriorating housing because of high levels of foreclosure, which have left vacancies, which means that buildings become vacant and immediately somebody comes in and strips them and they start, or arson or something else, and you start to see buildings that start to deteriorate, which then kind of spreads if you don't intercede right away.
Kurt Metzger is director of Data Driven Detroit. His organization worked with U of M students to survey every parcel of land in the city of Detroit. They counted the number of vacant lots, single-family homes, and 1 to 4 family units. In all, they looked at 343,000 properties.
We came up with some over 90,000 vacant parcels of land, and we pretty much came up with about 13,000 to 15,000 structures that we felt needed to be demolished.
This map shows the housing density of different sections of the city. The darker the color, the more housing in that area. Devette's block is the lightest color. And even though there aren't many people there, the garbage still has to be picked up, utilities still have to be maintained, and the mail carrier needs a truck to get from one occupied house to the next. That's the challenge. In September, Mayor Dave Bing announced a 12 to 18-month process to come up with solutions.
Detroit, it's time to do what we do best, work together. And that is why we have named this initiative the Detroit Works Project. Together, we can create a future for this city that will last for generations.
Citizens were invited to town hall meetings, which sometimes became heated. A new round of those meetings begins Thursday. And last night, the Detroit Works Task Force reviewed information that'll be presented at those meetings, including population shifts beginning in the 1960s.
We were a vibrant city with lots of people living here, very dense areas, and we have a lot of pockets now that are not so dense. Very few folks living there, lots of vacant land, vacant homes, and we got to figure out with the people's input how we're going to now use that land.
Devette has some thoughts on that issue.
Knock my house down and find me somewhere else? Yeah, that'd be good. I like that. That's interesting.
But just a few blocks away, Gladys Crumsey isn't so eager to move, even though her street is far from ideal.
I'm the only house from here to the corner here, and it's only about 5 of us. Basically, it's only 5 or 6 of us on this block.
But the house is well-maintained and comfortable, exactly what Gladys wanted.
I bought this house for $1,750 in 1989. It had no doors, no windows, no sinks, had holes in the wall. And my husband had passed in 2007. We did this and we refurbished it.
And the empty fields actually make her feel safer.
But if they put me in an area like this or like that, and it's just got more houses in it that we have to fix up, and we're right back in the heavy crime area, I stay where I'm at. Come on.
Different ideas, different concerns, and the same opportunity to be part of the solution.
This is not just a city problem. It's a city challenge, it's a county, it's a state challenge, and probably a federal government challenge. We cannot have anybody on the sidelines just watching the process. They must be engaged in the process.
As I mentioned, the city has announced the next round of Detroit Works project meetings. The first one will be Thursday, 2 days from now, from 6 till 8 p.m. at the University of Detroit Mercy on McNichols. Then the next one will be Saturday, 10 a.m. at the Oddfellows Hall on West Verner. The complete list, by the way, is on our website, Detroit2020.com. But nobody can sit on the sidelines here, Joanne.
No.